Hi guys. So good evening until the others join. Can someone just type the deadlines I gave last week? The deadlines, all the deadlines that we discussed last week. Can you please type it on the chat, please? Until the others join. Can you type it on the chat, please? Until the others join. Great. Okay. So shall we get started now? Let me remind everyone where we were last week and what we are going to achieve this week. Great. Thank you so much to everyone who responded. Okay, so the deadlines are very clear. There might be some here who may not have joined last week, so you can watch the recording last week. Not to worry. Again, we are going to think positively. I am a very positive person, so I want all of you to pass. So please don't outsource your work. Don't give it to anyone. This project is very simple. It is not a thesis. It is not a dissertation. You don't need to do any questionnaire and go and collect data out there. It is a practical project that you implement for your organization or an organization of your choice. But if you do select an organization of your choice, you will write it in the tone that you are working for that organization, right? So you are going to implement a project using theory. You are going to solve a management problem. That is as simple as how it gets. Okay? Using theory, you are going to solve a management problem, much like what management consultants do. So I hope all of you will be inspired to be consultants after this project because consultants get paid very big amounts. But you can practice it with this project where you deliver a real project and you solve a management problem or exploit an opportunity using theory. Okay. So this is not a thesis. It is not a dissertation. All right. So if I quickly look at the document I wrote on screen last week, this is what I wrote last week, right? So someone has shared this on the chat. Yes, task one has 3,000 words. Task one is the proposal, is the project proposal. And we said 21st September, which is Sunday. Today is 19th September. Now, if you want to take a few extra days, don't worry because this is my deadline. This is not a university deadline. This is a deadline that we set for ourselves. So if you want to take up to 22nd, 23rd, 24th, no problem, but don't take beyond that because then you're not disciplined. So the weekend is here. I think you can finish it by Sunday. But if you can't, 22nd, 23rd, 24th is not a problem. It's not a problem. But please make sure that you don't finish it on the 10th of October. Then it's a problem. right? So you can take a few days and be disciplined. Let's finish this as a batch. Let's graduate as a batch. And let's make sure we are all going together. Task 2, 6,500 words is the implementation report. That is due on the 15th of October. So task 1, I have templatized task 1. If you answer the 16 questions, then you are done with task 1. If you answer the 16 questions document, you're done with task 1. 3,000 words, 16 questions, you're done with the proposal. Some of you are doing the 16 questions and then you're trying to do the assignment again because you have not watched the video last week. So please watch it, because I know when some of you are outsourcing your work, you're asking questions that are simplified and explained. You're asking again. That means you are not watched the video. You're not concentrated. You're given it to someone and that person is asking you these very basic questions that we have discussed over and over again in class. That means you're not doing your assignment. You're outsourcing it. Very clear. Right? So please, guys, make sure you do it by yourself. I will help you. It is very simple. Overall, with task 3, that is 2,500 words, which is the continuous professional development plan due on the 31st of October, you have a total of 12,000 words. You have to get your Turnitin report. You have 5 days for that and submit your work on the 5th of November. If you do miss that, you have 30th November, but don't look at 30th November. You must aim to submit it on the 5th of November. Sample projects are on Google Classroom. Please benchmark them. So it's not difficult, right? So last week, I wanted you to write 1,000 words out of task 1, 3,000 words proposal. And I told you finish 1,000 words from question number 1 to 10 in the 16 questions document. Now, some of you have got it right. Some of you, I have said you have to redo it. Some of you have said you have to redo it. Some of you have got it right. Now, those of you who have asked to redo it, please relook at your work. I have given you some additional comments. Maybe change your topic and make it a project. Be very clear with the questions that you are supposed to answer. Those of you who have said okay and move forward, well done. You can continue after today's class to finish task 1 with 3,000 words and email your work to me. Now, some of you are WhatsApping your work to me. Please don't WhatsApp it to me. If you don't get a reply, within 48 hours, you can WhatsApp me. Otherwise, don't WhatsApp me saying I sent you an email. Okay? Please don't do that because I need to manage my inbox. I usually respond to all the WhatsApps and make sure I look at it quite frequently. So don't clog my WhatsApp by saying I sent you an email now. If you sent me an email, I'll check it. Don't worry. So if you don't hear from me within 48 hours, you can WhatsApp me. But usually I reply within couple of hours. So give me up to 48 hours. If you don't hear from me, then you can WhatsApp. Okay? Because I have to read the work, look at things. So it's not easy. All right? Because we need to make sure you pass this one shot and you complete this properly. Remember, this has the highest word count from all your subjects and it needs to be done properly. You need to be proud of the final document that you hold in your hand. There are many who have finished this and shared it with their boss, because you have to also get a mentor. It is good if you can get someone from your office to mentor you on this project. If you can't, I will be your mentor, no problem, and sign your work. Don't worry. That's not a problem. Okay. But make sure you give it to someone and ask someone to mentor you in these 16 questions, the implementation report, and continuous professional development plan. I have seen many students who have finished this module and got promoted, and their bosses have really got engaged in helping students out in this program. But some of you are entrepreneurs, some of you work for central banks, some of you work for embassies, then you can't. Okay. then I will be your mentor. Okay. Some of you are running a business with your wife, right? Don't make your wife the mentor. Then I will be the mentor. Okay. So don't do it. Do it with purpose. Do it with passion. Do it so that you transform something. That's how you should do it, right? Just don't do it for the sake of doing it, because then you're wasting the knowledge that you will acquire and the experience that you'll acquire out of this. All right. Okay. So just a quick thing. There are some of you who have still not got access to Google Classroom. Please make sure you get access to Google Classroom, because your recommended reading, the A grade answers, everything is in that. So please make sure you get access to that. All the guidelines, the cover pages, you'll find everything in that. So today, let's investigate what we did last week in the 16 questions. And if you answer this, you're done with task 1, right? So your name, student number, you can put the name of the company there. There are some of you who have asked me to change the data of the company. No problem, you can do that, right? Specify your relationship, your designation. We discussed all this last week. Then you need to select the context, the scenario. I have given you some examples of scenarios here, but these are only examples. You don't need to stay within these. You can go out of these as well, but explain the scenario, the context here. Then you go into the scope of the project, where you describe the project in detail using about 50 words. You go into explaining what the project will cover and not cover, what it will cover and not cover, the boundary of the project. You will include your boss ideally here as the mentor, but I told you, if you cannot, then you can include my name there. So some of you are writing this heading and typing under that. So that's a good practice. So type number 7, details of the mentor, and you put that. Type number 8, business case rationale, and then under that you can start typing. So do that, because this is a PDF document. Trying to edit this and convert this, don't waste time. Don't waste time. Now, business case is very important. Business case, guys, is where you justify numbers the project. Now, this is where sometimes marketers struggle, digital marketers, finance guys do well here, right? HR guys don't do well here. So you have to learn this, how to justify things in numbers. So get onto Excel sheet and cut it and paste it here. So do some basic arithmetic, right? First of all, you can start with the revenue forecast. You can start, if you want, you can look at the price and the quantity and then do the revenue forecast. Then you can look at your cost structures, direct costs, indirect costs. You can look at gross profit. You can look at the net profit. You can do some basic ratios. You can do a small NPV calculation, net present value calculation. You can do, if you are little finance qualified, internal rate of return, what we call IRR calculation. Don't worry, okay? You don't need to do all this. I'm just giving you some options. You can use a discount factor and look at discounted cash flows, right, in doing the net present value. So all this is something that you can learn and demonstrate and justify not only the revenue, the profit, but when will you break even? What's your break even quantity? What's your break even volume? And what's your break even revenue? So these are all things you can show. In addition, the payback period can be calculated. The payback period can be calculated. In addition, here you can look at the market share you will garner. How much of market share increase will you get year on year, quarter on quarter? How much of customer numbers will you get year on year, quarter on quarter? right? And any other things that you can show to justify and create a business case, because you might have to sell this project to the board of directors. Maybe in doing so, you can also talk about share price appreciation, uh, from this project, depends on the project, right? So these are all things that you can do in terms of a business case, but play around with numbers. You can do it on Excel and cut it and paste it here. Now you look at the objectives. I wanted minimum five quantitative objectives and five qualitative objectives that you're going to achieve from this project, right? So it can be a project that is 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It can be a project that is 1 year, but don't do 5-year projects. Then it becomes a problem, right? Guys, try and select a project that you are right now working on in your organization. Right now, you might be doing a project, or maybe you started a project in January or whatever it is, then you have all the data and information. So you can extract that and show that you are doing it right now. Okay. So don't complicate it, simplify it. Remember, you have tight deadlines. Remember, you have to write 12,000 words and get a Turnitin report. So play to your strengths, and I am here to help you, but don't complicate it. Okay. Now, this is one of the most important questions on the literature review. You have to select a core theory and supplementary theory. So last week I explained this. I will explain it again today, right? In order to be a consultant, right? What consultants do is they look at a problem, a management problem. So whatever, it can be a problem, it can be an opportunity. Consultants look at either a problem or an opportunity. Problem that you're going to solve, opportunity that you're going to exploit, right? Now, a management consultant would take this problem or opportunity and create a project. This is the second box, a project. So this project, implementing this project, which is task 2, should help solve this problem or exploit this opportunity. Implementing this project should help solve this problem or opportunity. So think about the problems you have in your organization. Think about the opportunities you have, management related. And then how can you convert it into a project to solve that problem or opportunity? And in doing so, you will use a core theory, You will use a core theory. Now, this is the third box, a core theory to deliver the project. Now, select a theory that has many components. Last week, I gave you some examples. This is the literature review. This part is the literature review, literature that is available out there that you can review. Literature that is available out there that you can review. Right? So your core theory, which can have many components, should help deliver the project, and that should help solve the problem or exploit the opportunity. Now, sometimes these core theories might have limitations, weaknesses. Therefore, you can select up to 4 to 5 supplementary theories. S1, S2, S3, S4, and S5. These supplementary theories will back the core theory. If there are any limitations, you can use the components of the supplementary theories as well. So together, what you find in this blue box would be the literature that you're going to look that is available in management out there. That will help deliver the project and solve the problem or the opportunity. So what is the literature? Here you need to talk about those core theories, the supplementary theories. What is the name of the project? What are the problems you're trying to solve? I hope it is clear. Any questions on this? Any clarifications on this? You can either unmute and ask, or you can type. Any questions? Any questions? Anything to clarify?
So one more thing, for the core theory, let's say some theory we didn't learn through the MBA course, but we learned from outside, we can use it, ne?
Yeah, you can use, it's like this, but it has to be whatever that you have learned in your management modules, something that you have learned. Like, don't go and select something that is, what you learned in the Morato University under some other degree program, then it doesn't make sense, right? So try and select. Literature review must be based on what course you're doing, what modules you're doing, right?
Okay.
So stick to that, right? Because the examiner will judge you based on that. And another thing is, go and now look at all those slides that you got from lecturers, all those ebooks that you got. Then පොඩ්ඩක් ඒවා කියවන්න. ඒකට තමයි literature review කියන්නේ. Then tonight I am going to stay up, okay? I am going to stay up tonight. Friday night, no. So other hitter දකින්නකම් I am going to be up. Because usually on Friday nights I do a long night, have some coffee at about 11 o'clock in the night. Not an interesting match today, but some match can watch. Tomorrow we have good match, right? Why am I staying up? Because now our case study is out for CIM. So every 6 months I do a case study, which is about 30, 40 pages of based on a global company. So our CIM level 7 students, they have to select, they are management consultants for this global company. This time we have got Levi's and Company. Levi's, and last time we got Procter and Gamble. Before that we got Walmart. So every 6 months I get a case study. So my job as the lecturer is I have to sit and do a lot of literature review and go through so many endless theories, because there are questions that the students get that they need to practice and go to the exam. So my job is, now that is why I'm teaching the case study. My job is I need to know theory, literature that you can apply to improve that company, right? So I am now sitting up, analyzing the case study, given the data, given the financials, given the annual report, and I'm looking at different theories in management that you can help to solve that organization's problems, which will be given in the assignment. So it can be strategy tools, it can be digital tools, digital transformation. It has a balance sheet, cash flow statement, and profit and loss account. So we have to look at financial literature, then operational factors from lean management to factory efficiency to all that. So HR issues are there, cultural issues, change management. So you see, what I'm trying to tell you right now is, I'm trying to tell you that this is what lecturers and consultants, because in that role, you're getting a 30-page case study with financials and non-financials. Students are expected to be a management consultant. So in order to teach a bunch of management consultants, about 300 students, I have to first be updated with my literature. So now tonight I have a lot of literature that I'm going to look at, peruse. I can't go with my pre-existing knowledge and solve new management problems, because it's a new industry. I don't know anything about the denim industry. I don't know, right? Every time we get a case study, I have to really study the industry and then go into different literature given the problems that the organization is facing. based on the case study. Did you get it? So now this literature review thing is a very important exercise, guys. Don't do it like an assignment. Really do this for your company and try to solve a management problem. Trust me, if you do it properly, one day when you have to really be a consultant or have a consultancy approach, you'll find it very easy. But if you do this like an assignment or outsource it and just do it to pass, maybe you'll pass, but you'll never be a consultant. Okay. So that is very important because that is knowledge, that is tapping new knowledge. So today I am still learning. Today, I mean, this is my 26th year teaching. Okay. Although I look young. Okay. This is my 26th year teaching. So I am still learning to teach. Okay. that is my approach. I am still learning, guys, to teach. After launching three books, I still am learning management theory to teach. Because from case to case, from company to company, industry to industry, literature will change, approaches, strategy will change. So this area that you see in blue, that is going into the existing body of knowledge and digging really deep to find what is there out there to solve this problem and to deliver the project. So be hungry, be thirsty. And that knowledge, no one can take away from you. If you learn how to do it, tomorrow you can start being a consultant. That means people will come with their management problems to you and you are able to say, give me 2-3 days, I'll analyze the information and come back with something really good so that you can help solve that management problem. That backing you get is from your literature review, theory literature review. Okay, right. Now, so let's move forward. Now, we did all this last week. Now I want to go into this, right? Which is very simple. Question number 11. What is the project team composition? Their roles, their skills, their competencies. Now I'm going to take you to literature here as well and get you to read. Can you read my book on marketing and business strategy? I have given you two types of team roles. One is called Belbin's team roles. Belbin's team roles. Now you can make some assumptions here. Belbin's team roles. So author Belbin has come up with project team roles. Look at that. Then there is another one called Mintzberg's team roles. Mintzberg's team roles. Mintzberg's team roles. Right? Mintzberg's team roles. Okay. Look at this and write about 40-50 words here. Now, you might not really have project team members and all that to deal with this, but you can make some assumptions here. Okay. Because you have to score marks and impress the examiner. So you can make some assumptions. Okay. Examiner is not going to call the company and check. Right. Now here, question number 12 is to identify the project risks, internal risks and external risks. So the external risks are mainly the macro and the micro risks. The macro and the micro risks, external risks. Internal risks are risks that come from the different departments within the organization. So you table some risks here and talk about how are you going to mitigate these risks. What are the risks? Every project will have risks. Now, can you make a small note here? I have given you some project management books on Google Classroom. I've given you some project management books on Google Classroom. There is a chapter there on project risks, the types of project risks, and how to mitigate them. So can you please take a look at that and type something here, right? Then we come to budget allocation. Now, this is a very straightforward thing. This is a very straightforward thing. You need to show a breakdown of the resources, financial budget allocations. You can show here. You can show here in detail. You can do it on Excel and put it here or whatever, right? So make some assumptions. Don't say we don't have any budgets for this project. Make some assumptions. Question number 14 talks about a Gantt chart. A Gantt chart means the duration, which is activity over time. So you can talk about the activities, A, B, what are the project activities, right? And time, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, or first week, second week, third week, whatever. And you can show when are you going to start, when are you going to finish. So budgets are there, but this is a Gantt chart, activity over time. Maybe if you want to, you can use Microsoft Project here. Microsoft Project, which is a software that all of you have that you don't use. Okay. All of you have it, but you don't use Microsoft Project. Okay. Part of Windows. Right. Then question number 15 are the limitations of the project. Limitations. What are the issues? What won't this project cover? Who should not read this project in terms of, taking the lessons from it, but the limitations. So you need to clearly spell out the boundary of your project and the limitations of your project, what it won't cover. Okay. So you can keep it short, and then you can go into the evaluation techniques. How would you evaluate the success or the failure of the project? So upon completion, how are you going to evaluate the success or the failure of the project? So it can be financial evaluation, it can be other results in terms of market share, customer numbers, cost structures, break-even points. It can be qualitative evaluation, it can be brand related, whatever. How are you going to evaluate this, right, project? Now there are books that I've given you on project management. Please go to project evaluation techniques. There's a chapter in those books. Those books are in your Google Classroom. So can you see what I'm doing? I'm making you read. Go back to literature. This subject is not a subject where we teach you theory. This subject is we are bringing out the consultant in you and making you or forcing you to start reading and go back into literature and prepare a structured proposal. And then we'll come into task 2 next week and write the implementation report. Write the implementation report. Okay. Do you have any questions so far? Anything to clarify? Anything to clarify? So at the start of it, I told you, you can take a few extra days. Sunday is the deadline for task 1, but take a few extra days, no problem. Please email me only PDFs. Don't WhatsApp me your work. Please email me PDFs. I will check my spam as well. I usually check my spam as well. So if you don't hear from me within 48 hours, you can WhatsApp me. But I need to see task 1 and approve your task 1 before you start task 2. Before you start task 2, I need to approve your task 1. When you are sending your task 2 later, after the next class, you have to send it together with task 1. Okay? Because we need to look at the holistic project, not piecemeal. All right. So that's about it for me tonight. That's about it for me tonight. If you have any other questions, please WhatsApp me. Lakshika, you can maybe perhaps WhatsApp me and I'll answer. If you do have any questions, please WhatsApp me. Thank you very much. Please stick to the deadlines, be genuine and do your work. If you have anything, if you have any other questions, you can always WhatsApp me and I'll be happy to help you. All right. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. No.
Thank you, sir. Good night.